Are you new to turkey hunting? Let's talk about the essentials you need in your turkey vest this spring. Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about what I use in my turkey vest and what I think you should have in your turkey vest this spring. Let's get started with calls. There are so many options when it comes to calls. There's box calls, pot calls, mouth calls, wing bone calls, and the list goes on. The great thing about calls is they don't have to be expensive in order to work. They don't need to be top of the line $100 calls to bring in the turkeys. They can be cheap little things you get from Canadian Tire or Walmart. They'll get you through, they'll get you started. Personally, I use PVS game calls. He's a local call maker to me. I'll put his website in the description below. The one I have here is a number 7 Mark 6 copper over glass. Sounds phenomenal, works great. A little more tricky to use being as it's copper. A super easy way to get started on pot calls is using a slate call. Slate over glass, super easy to use. This one's a number 7 Mark 3. Same guy, Phil from PVS Game Calls. Like I said, I'll put his website in the description below so you can check out his stuff. When it comes to pot calls, strikers are a big thing. These ones are both made by Phil, PVS Game Calls. I keep 2 in my vest just in case one breaks. One I find works better on the slate and one works better on the copper, depends on what I'm using that day. Another great call option is a box call. This is a Quaker Boy box call. I picked it up at Canadian Tire a few years ago, maybe 20 bucks tops. You can get them at Walmart, wherever you buy your hunting stuff. Another thing I keep in my vest and I highly recommend is a locating call. This is just something that makes those Toms and Jakes shock gobble. I personally use a crow call. Super easy. Honk on it a couple times, get those gobblers gobbling, and that'll tell you exactly where they are and how close you need to be. Another thing I keep in my turkey vest is a set of shears. Just use these for cleaning up shooting lanes, grabbing some branches to put around my feet to break up my silhouette, make me a little less obvious that I'm sitting there, keep me hidden a little better. Put a pair of shears in your turkey vest. Another great tool to have in your turkey vest is a set of binos. I got these Bushnell binos years ago. They still work great. Having the binos and being able to see those turkeys gives you an idea of how they're reacting to your call and what you need to change. Another great tool I keep in my vest is my rangefinder. Obviously you want to make sure those birds are in range before you start pulling triggers or slinging arrows. As good as we all think we are at judging distance, especially if you're new, go out, spend the $100 and some on a rangefinder. They're a little pricey, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're making a clean shot and clean kill, and you're not just wounding birds willy-nilly out there. Highly recommend having a rangefinder in your arsenal. Last thing on the list is a knife. Once you've successfully harvested your turkey, you're going to need a way to process it. I use old-timer knives. Relatively inexpensive. I mean, they're more expensive than a cheap knife you'll get from Walmart, but at the same time, they're a great quality knife. They hold their edge well. They're easy to sharpen. Highly recommend it. I'll leave a website just link down below as well. You can check them out. Turkey hunting doesn't have to be expensive. You can get started with just these things. These are the basic essentials, in my opinion, that you need to get into it. The season's just around the corner. If you want to get going, you want to get hunting turkeys, grab these things. Make sure you get yourself a vest to carry it all in. Grab these essentials, get out there, get hunting.